A beggar entered the office noisily, wearing old, worn-out clothes, singing loudly as he walked in. The secretary, already annoyed, said, "What is this? Speak more quietly." Saying this, she angrily took out some money and was about to give it to him. At that moment, the boss stopped her hand and said calmly, "I'll handle this, you may go." The secretary nodded in agreement and left. Then the boss looked at the beggar and said gently, "There's nothing wrong with asking for money, even if it's just 1 or 2 yuan. Don't worry, I will give you money too, but I have one condition." The beggar was startled and asked, "What condition, boss?" The boss said, "Did you see 10 buckets of water outside my office? Take them to the meeting room on the 8th floor." Hearing this, the beggar's face filled with sadness. He said, "If you don't want to give money, just say so. Why are you making fun of me?" He turned around to leave. The boss immediately said, "Wait, I didn't mean to insult you." Saying this, she walked forward. The beggar hesitated, then followed her with heavy steps. To encourage him, the boss silently picked up a bottle of water herself and started climbing the stairs. Seeing this, the beggar put his bowl aside, picked up a water bottle, and began walking upstairs. Water bottles, silent hard work, 8 floors, clothes soaked with sweat. The beggar carried the water without saying a word. Inside his heart, thoughts were loud. "I know what is right and what is wrong. Inside me lives a tired, wounded child who only wants to live with dignity." Finally, the work was completed. The beggar sat down exhausted. The boss came over, handed him a bottle of water to drink, and encouraged him, saying, "You did very well. You are truly hardworking." Then she handed him money and said, "Here are 200 yuan. This is not charity. This is money you earned with your own labor." The beggar's eyes filled with tears. He said softly, "Thank you, boss." The boss added, "Whenever you need money, don't beg. Come to my company and earn it through hard work." The beggar nodded silently. 6 years later, the company is in crisis. The secretary rushed into the office in panic and said, "Boss, bad news. The company that ordered goods from us has disappeared. All our capital is stuck in that inventory. If no buyer is found, the company may go bankrupt." The boss took a deep breath and said, "All right, I'll handle it. You may go." The secretary nodded and was about to leave. Suddenly, a loud voice was heard, "I'll take all the goods." A man walked forward and said, "Are you Mr. Xiang?" A confident and well-dressed gentleman stood there. The boss looked carefully and said, "I'm sorry, I don't recognize you." The man smiled and said, "6 years ago, a bowl and a pair of chopsticks. Do you remember now?" The boss froze. Her eyes widened. "That beggar, was it you?" The gentleman said respectfully, "6 years ago, you taught me that life is not built on relying on others, but through one's own hard work." He handed over the cash and said, "Here is 1 million. I'm also buying all of your goods, and I've brought a new project as well." The boss, overwhelmed, replied, "I didn't really do anything special. I only taught you to live by your own hands, to survive through hard work. Yet today you are doing so much for me." The man said politely, "You don't need to be so humble. This is what you deserve." Then he added, "There is a saying, when you drink water, never forget the one who dug the well." They both smiled. So friends, how did you like this story? Let me know in the comment.